So we have around 14 cars here at all times. Currently we have 14 cars worth 16 million, full carbon Bugatti, Ferrari Enzo, Lamborghini Countach, and others. Hi, my name is Oliver Morton, and welcome to Speedwerks. Speedwerks is located in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. There's 4 of us that are originally from here that had a dream one day of opening some kind of exotic car exhibit experience, and this is the result of it. So we have around 14 cars here at all times. Currently we have 14 cars worth 16 million, full carbon Bugatti, Ferrari Enzo, Lamborghini Countach, and others. And so our hope and wish for this place is for people that come here. This is a tourist destination. We get around 12.5 million people a year. And our hope here was to, especially kids, but have people come in, be inspired by this. It's almost like a video game come to life. And for kids to know if 4 East Tennessee mountain hillbillies can do this, you can do anything you want in your life. It's just about little choices you make every day to get to some kind of dream, to some kind of outcome that you want to. And so that's really the story of Speedwerks and why we started this place and why we're so proud of it. So how this all started, for me, I had a poster of a white Lamborghini Countach on my wall as a kid, a red Ferrari F40, and a Porsche 930 Turbo. So those were the things that inspired me, and I'd always been intrigued by, how did somebody come up with, design of these things? How do you actually manufacture one of these things? And obviously, I was young. I just thought it looked cool. And so my other partner, one of them, the Lamborghini Countach, was his inspiration as well. I saw my first one down in Miami when I was 8 years old, and he saw his first one in Daytona Beach when he was like 10, 12 years old. And then the other 2 partners, they raced motorcycles, dirt bikes rather, and jet skis as a kid. So mechanical, we like mechanical things. If you're really a car person, you probably like watches, you probably like guns, you probably like airplanes. And so anything that has kind of movement to it, we like. Yeah, so we've been friends for a long time, and I would say we really started talking about this 25 years ago, and it kind of started, seriously 25 years ago. The dream was from a young kid, obviously, but Matt, one of my partners, started making the license plate frames that we sell in the lobby, and he would give them to like people, that we were comfortable with, that has some cool cars. Back then, tuner cars, Eagle Talons, Civics, whatever we could afford, but people we like to hang out with. And so they would get a Speedwerks frame and we would all kind of hang out. So it started that way. And we talked about this. Obviously, we didn't have any money back then, so this was just some kind of fantasy. But that was just the dream that started. And then, for me and most of us, choices, like little bitty choices for a long time. So for example, I'm 47 years old. I've never had a sip of alcohol, drug, tobacco in my life. I wake up very early in the morning. I'm in the gym. And for about 25 years, I've hustled 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the reason I can do that is I've only been involved with things I've been obsessed with. Not that I like, not that I want to do, that I'm obsessed with, so I can do them all day long and not feel like I'm working. And I think that's really important for people to understand, that if you can find something as a young kid that you're obsessed with and you can make that your living, eventually, not maybe the first year or two, you're going to be very successful because you're going to outwork everybody in your field because you don't feel like you're working. And fortunately, that's what we've all done. And so after years and decades of pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and choice this and choice that, and we always talk about embracing the suck. So doing things that you don't like doing like you love them. And so you have 2 choices in life every day. We all do. I do too. You can sacrifice temporary fun for your long-term success, or you sacrifice your long-term success for a little bit of temporary fun. And that's the problem. That dopamine you get in your brain with those little short things, you've got to push through that. And you've got to have a vision, and you have to push towards it every single day. You can have the greatest boat in the world, but if you have no destination about where you want to go, you're just going to be going around in circles in the ocean. So we've been very focused in life. We've been very fortunate in life to have the health and the time to do what we've done, but this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And so people have to understand that this is not like a light bulb. It can happen that way. It didn't happen for us. This was decades and decades of making choices that most people didn't make. And here we are. This all kind of came to fruition in 2021. I had personally moved back from Los Angeles, and I I was getting involved with some commercial real estate, and the building next door came available, and we were gutting that. And then just so happens this entire building came vacant. Speedwerks, we're in a large 14,000 square foot building, but it was actually a sectional building with a bunch of small businesses in it, and they all vacated at the same time. And we had been looking for a building in Gatlinburg that was big enough to house cars and do all what we do here, and it doesn't happen very often. So when this came available, I called my partners, had them come in, assess the situation, and here we are. This was about a year build out. We had to tear the whole building down. If any of y'all have done that, you know it's not the greatest experience, but it's a good learning experience. Every single inch of this place has my sweat and blood in it because, again, this is something that we've wanted to do. This is a bucket list for us since we've been kids. And so, you know, you've heard hands-on before. This was every single day for 365 days. I was in here personally making sure this went right for all of us to have what we wanted. And as far as the aesthetic, we wanted to create this kind of modern Dubai industrial atmosphere that you don't really see here. So when people come in that didn't like cars, that were drug in by their husbands or their brothers or their sons or whatever, they were like, I have no idea what this is, but it looks really cool. So that was the vision we had, was to create a space that not only car people and gearheads liked, but also just the every average day person to see something completely different. And we wanted to concentrate on motion. So if you've ever been to car museums or a car place, a lot of them are very static and you get to walk around the car. So what we wanted to do is for you to stand in one spot and have the car come around you. So that's why we got the car turners, to give the car motion and life. And it just kind of lets you see every contour of the car, every angle of the car, and almost bring it to life, if you will. And then we have a bunch of TVs with some custom video, again, trying to create motion in the building so it comes alive, motion lights. And then we have over 125,000 LEDs in the building that we can kind of create different atmospheres and different times of year, change them and have some flexibility inside of the building. So again, we're all, you know, we've been friends a while. It wasn't really difficult. We all kind of have the same aesthetic and we all kind of like the same thing. So after the first month or two of, what do you think about this? How about the stairs? How about this walkway? How about the columns? You know, they were just like, look, like we're all on the same page. Just go ahead and do it. And here we are. So Speedwerks, how did the name come about? Well, one of my partners, Matt, a long time ago in high school, he was asked, hey, why don't you hang out with us? Why don't you come party? Why don't you come to this house? Why don't you come to this club? And Matt was like, look, man, I'm not judging. If that's what you guys like to do. Speed works for me. We like cars. We like the idea of going fast. We weren't really going fast at that time, but speed works for me. And speed works for me turned into WERKZ, which is now Speedwerks. So that's how the actual name came about. Why Speedwerks and what experience do we hope people get from this? Well, we're selling fun here. So if you're in the car community, you're in it because of the fun, because of the art, because of the design, because of the engineering, because you like the way it looks, because you like the way it sounds. And hopefully what we get here is the sights and sounds of this place, you know, the visuals of this, the audio. It inspires people to a level that we were inspired. So what we're hoping is you come in here and you're like, oh my goodness, like something clicks. And you're like, I have to do something different to get to where I want to be for this car or for that car. Or if it's just like a little kid coming in and being like, this is the car I played in Grand Theft Auto, or this is the car I played in Gran Turismo, or whatever game it was, and they get to see it in real life, and they get to kind of like, not necessarily feel it and touch it, but get really close and kind of see it, and maybe inspire them to do something that they otherwise might not have. And so fun is the biggest thing we're wanting people to have, because people come on vacations here, they get away for a week or two a year, and we want them to have this memorable experience where they'll go back for years and years and years, and they can maybe tell their other family members, be like, I went to this place at Speedwerks, and that's the reason that I made these decisions that maybe changed some part of their life, if not just to smile for a little while. So that's the purpose of Speedwerks. There's all kinds of needs in the car community. There's all these people that are looking for places to get things done. Where do I buy a car? Where do I service a car? Where do I transpo a car? Where do I do anything for a car? And so we're always looking for answers because there's always problems. We don't have the time to do this. We don't have the time to vet that. We don't have the time. We don't know the people here. And so something that Modist does that's really cool is it gets rid of all of that. It connects people. And connections is the reason that we are here. We're not here because we're these great people. It's because the people we've met, because the relationships we've built and the relationships that come from those relationships. And so to be able to go to a place that can kind of get you from A to B without having to go all the way to F or E or Z is really cool. And so to be able to trust a group of people to answer questions and fix problems that you have is the reason that a company like Modist has value, and you should really check it out.